Okay, gang. So I've got some Oreos here. I have had an unbelievable day. I went to lunch with a new friend, a friend that literally we've been trying to get together for lunch since last year. And, life got in the way. A woman had a seizure at the restaurant. So everything stopped so that we could call 911. My friend called 911. And then when I got home, this horrendous storm came through. I had to pull everything, all my outside. Hey, Natalie, I had to pull all my outside furniture onto the porch because the wind was just crazy. Power went out for 4 hours. I had no cell service, no internet, no power, nothing. We were just we were living on the prairie. So it just came back and I got messages that Barb went live today. Apparently she goes live every week and tells her no guts, no story. But apparently everything she says in this live contradicts chapters 1 and 2. So let's just dive in. Let's see what she's got to say. I'm excited. I got some Oreos here. Let's just do it. All right.
It's Saturday. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. We're going to give everybody a moment or two to come on, but today I want to talk to you about your energy and changing your plane. So all of us are going to learn a lot today. I would say grab a notebook. I got some good stuff to share with you.
Ooh.
And the things I'm going to share with you have absolutely changed my life.
Just double stuffed.
And it is my goal that they will change your life as well. So I'm going to let everybody jump in here. Let me know, where are you listening from today? Maybe some of you are watching this on the podcast. Maybe some of you are here live while it's happening. Let me know where you're from. Good morning.
This is a blind react, just so everyone knows.
So today I want to talk to you about changing your plane. And some of you understand this and some of you don't. Drop in the comments if you are
I've tried to change my plane and there's a really heavy fees to change your plane. So I know that's not what she's talking about.
Person that reads a lot of social development, personal development, mental development. We're all learning.
Carrie, you're watching from the mortuary?
And growing.
Is that a joke? Is that a Barb joke or real?
Some people get it and some people don't get it. But I want to help you, say with me, get it. And one of my favorite topics to talk about is making money. And it rubs people wrong sometimes. People think money is the root of all evil. But I've never seen a wealthy person out on the streets shooting someone for their purse to get some cash, or on a subway. There are good and bad people, whether they're
Wait, I'm sorry. So she just said, I've never seen a wealthy person shooting someone on the street for their purse. First of all, how many stories do you hear, Barb, of people shooting people in the street just for their purse? That's not the gun violence that we are experiencing in America. And the gun violence that we do see from really rich people, you're not immune to gun violence if you are rich. What the hell is she talking about? We're off to a strong start.
Wealthy or not, but I personally want you to think, what could I do with money that would be so good I wouldn't have this feeling that it was evil or it was bad. And I want to tell you guys, because I was raised in a very strict Baptist home with my grandmother. Last night my daughter Callie came home. It was her first time home in 18 months, if you can imagine this. It's been incredibly.
Hold on. She was raised in a Baptist home with her grandmother. I thought that she raised her siblings. I thought she was the one who raised her siblings. According to this book, hold on. Let's just fact check here for a second. I should be highlighting stuff. I guess you could say we were a bit sheltered. My parents raised 5 of us in a 3-bedroom house where the girls shared a canopy bed and the boys had bunk beds. Until I was about 12, I remember loving my bedroom at grandma's house where I spent most days and many nights. But Grandma and Grandpa Mills were much like my mom and dad in that they worked around the clock and actually were partners with my parents in rental Okay. Oh no, okay, so yes, Sunny. Barbie Cockpit is my character. Barb Pitcock is a real person. Yes. Yeah, Barbie Cockpit is
really busy for her, and she's getting ready to be gone for a while. Working remotely from her computer and
that's
doing
what
lots
working
of
remotely
things.
means.
But
Thank
we
you.
just have today and half of tomorrow together. She's here at home, and of course, I've been on a call this morning a lot. And
Of course.
I have this call, and then I have another one at 10.
Yes,
And then we're going to try to just focus on family this afternoon. But the conversations we were having last night as we were driving around town, we drove to the first house where Dave was born and grew up, little tiny house on Ober.
So here's my thing. If she says that my parents raised 5 of us in a 3-bedroom house and you lived in your grandma's house, so 2 parents, 5 children, and your grandparents, what are we talking? Like, that's crazy. I mean, I know that happens, but that's crazy.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Lacey. Good morning, Kimberly. We drove past the house where I was born, and it's about the size of a shoebox. And then we drove past the house right next door to it where I was raised by my mom and dad. We drove past grandma's house where I spent most every day because my parents were workaholics.
So she started this by saying she was raised by her grandma, and then she just said she was raised by her mom and dad. What are you talking about? Like, it almost puts me to the point, like, if you're going to make shit up, like, write it down so that you can track it. And her grandma died in 1982 when she was 12, 20. Yeah, okay, that tracks.
And then
I think it's blue lipstick time.
The block past my other grandma's house, and we were just reminiscing. It was funny. We drove past my first home that Dave and I brought, babies home in and lived at before we moved here in the country. And I'm always so proud of
your first home. Wait a minute, because she said that at 22 she had a home with her fiance, and then they ran away to Wyoming. And had a home there, a cozy home where the shower had frostbite on it. What are you doing? What? It's blue lipstick time.
Because it looks like the governor's mansion. We rented it. It used to be a rest home. And Kylie was there until she was 2. I think Chance was 3 and Brooklyn was 5. They were very close in age. And then we moved out here to 22 acres in the country. But as we were driving around here, Kelly's like, Darian, I got to show you this house we grew up in. And they were laughing like, ooh, that's creepy. It was a rest home. I wonder how many people died there. And then I go, wait till you see where I was born and raised. And we're just driving through these neighborhoods, reminiscing about where we came from, what we learned, what our foundations are. And Kelly said, so that's the house you were born in? I said, yeah, my mom still owns it. That's the house you were raised in? Yeah, my mom still owns it. That's grandma's house? Which grandma? Wait, which grandma lived here? Which grandma lived there? My mom still owns it. And we were talking about building wealth and making.
So your mom owned your both grandparents' houses is what she just said. I need to take notes.
And then we got off on talking about people who play sports. And, Callie and Darian were talking about different friends they have in the professional sports arena. And we were just saying, you can have one person that makes money and still has it 10 years later because they make it grow. And you can have another person that gets a $1 million contract and 5 years later they're broke.
Hey, Michelle. So Barb Pitcock went live today on Facebook, and she apparently tells part of her story that completely contradicts everything in chapters 1 and 2. So, and we, just had to, I felt like it was a blue lip kind of moment. So here we go.
Government behind on their taxes and bankrupt, all because of a mentality. And I think growing up,
you're not bankrupt because of a mentality.
Learned to dream. In the network marketing industry, I learned to dream. My little sister and I were 3 years apart. We spent our weekends cutting firewood, delivering a cord of wood, tearing down old outhouses and school buildings, selling the bricks. My mom and dad would literally tear down buildings, sell the bricks. We tore down an old silo and...
Just so I'm clear. Okay, hold on. Because I need to make sure. All right, where was it that she talks about her parents? Here, I'm going to highlight it. Let me reread. There was no time for sports, nor would my mom and dad have stopped to come and watch me participate, right? So right there, she indicates, this is just the introduction, that her parents will not take time to support her. Then she says, they drove 2 semi-trucks and owned a food distribution company, along with a grocery store that was about a half-hour's drive of North Russell. They also owned the putt-putt golf course that was at the campground. I learned to run the cash register, greet people, and run the front of the business before most kids were able to stay alone and babysit. Now she's saying they're tearing down outhouses and what?
Feedlot or grain lot in Dorrance, Kansas. And my dad fell from 3 stories, tearing down this old building to sell the used wood. Like, it's just the way that I was raised. You can look at something that's really ugly and you can make it beautiful. You can look at something that's someone's problem and it's your opportunity. You guys, I want to tell you something. Opportunities stem from challenge. Opportunities stem from someone else's.
Just want to, before she says anything else about her father, she says, I thought I knew everything and I became very hateful and mouthy, which led to many beatings from my father. Okay.
Headache, someone else's problem. You know, this week I was visiting with my niece and they bought a boat. And I was like, how did you guys find that boat? Well, there was a family that had a very emotional event at the lake. And this person was like, I never want to go on a boat again. I never want to go to the lake again. They were traumatized and, you know, emotional about it. And at the same time, we've all been looking at these wave boats, these surf boats. And, you know, my niece is like, yeah, my dad just went there. They were like, we never want this boat again. And he just bought it. And it's funny because Dave and I were in every showroom in Oklahoma looking at these boats where they're like $225,000 for a boat that you can go behind and surf on this, you know, wave. And some people would say, that's too much. That's too crazy for a boat. You know, for me, my mentality said I could buy a house, put it on Airbnb, make $1,000 every 4 days with the same money that I could hang behind a boat looking like a badass surfing, right? And Dave's like, well, you need both. You need the boat. I'm dreaming of my kids and I on this boat. And we went and looked at them last week and they were in the showroom. And, you know, you say nobody would buy that boat. $225,000 for a boat. But you guys, I want to tell you something. It's the feeling that you get, not the object. Some people would say, that's too much. That's too far. That's a pipe dream. Other people would say, that's mine. I'm going to have it. Universe, bring me the boat, right? So I want to teach you guys today about getting out on a plane mentally where you are a money magnet. And for those of you that are in business with me.
Okay, so let's just, does she mean water skiing? Just riding the waves behind. Okay, I feel like an academic. I got her book here. I'm watching her live. I'm taking notes. Okay, so hold on. However many people watched this, only 177 views for starters. Okay. However many people watched this, do you think that people are like, oh my God, did she buy a $225,000 boat? I'm going to get there. So all she's doing is flaunting her money and her wealth, which I still don't believe anybody has that. If you talk about how much money you have, oh, I bought a $225,000 boat. I don't think that you actually have it. I don't think anybody ever see that skit on SNL or the character on SNL that one guy plays called Guy who just bought a boat. Does anybody know that? It's always on Weekend Update. That's her right now. I don't understand. I don't understand. What I don't understand is how you get on the internet and also publish a book with things that do not line up. Everything is just a complete lie.
You get it. If you wake up in the morning, you write down what you're going to make that day, you say what you're going to do, you will manifest it. You will manifest the property, the boat, the car, the the person that wants your product.
So if I wake up tomorrow and I write down, I'm going to make $1,000, is it just going to manifest? Like, that's not how that happens.
The next leader that's going to blow up your business and do more volume than you did, just like that.
The next leader that's going to blow up your business. So when they do more volume than you, just like that, that's because it's a pyramid scheme.
But people stay stuck. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. I had a single mom. My grandma died when I was 12. My grandpa remarried. It was brutal. I had a college fund. His new wife canceled the college fund. I didn't get to go to college. I was about to go and even get a student loan. My dad left on graduation night. My mom didn't have any money.
Hold on, everybody. Just everybody, hold on. I gotta find where she talks about her dad leaving, because I want to talk about it, because she said that the the sheriff brought the divorce papers on graduation night, but then she said 2 weeks later is when he left. Hold on, I gotta find it. Darn it. I don't want to waste all of your time with me like just staring at this thing. But that is what she said, wherever it is. Yeah, I don't know where it is right now, but that's what she said. She said that the divorce, well, she didn't even say divorce paper. She says the sheriff showed up while they were taking pictures for her graduation to deliver a paper, and she didn't know what was going on. And then 2 weeks later, her dad left.
He needed me to watch 4 kids. My sister and I were fighting every day, raising these babies. My mom was trying to drive 2 semis. The house got taken away by the bank. She was living in one of the trailer houses that used to be a rental property. And we slept 4 in a bed and the other one said roll over with our mom, right? That's the truth. 4 in a king-size bed, all the clothes in the other bedroom, in a single wide trailer that the pipes froze on. But guess what, guys? We didn't stay there. We didn't stay there. We made a move.
Well, I mean, you owned your mom and dad. Excuse me. This is why this is so confusing, because they owned like 3 businesses. They owned 3 businesses. So how do those 3 businesses put you, when your dad left, did he take everything? Because in the book, oh my gosh. Because in the book, you say that he just left and you don't know where he went. So if you don't know where he went and he just up and left, that indicates to me that your mom still had everything. So how did you end up in this trailer?
And let me tell you where the move happens. It's a mindset. My mom would wake up every day, burn copper wire before she went to work. I would see my mom at 8 a.m. She would have soot all over her face like a mustache. She would go to King of the Road, where she worked a 9 to 5 just to have insurance to raise these kids, when she could have went and got in line for all the handouts. She woke up at 5. She burned wire. She went to work at 7. She was on the manufacturing line. I was going if there was a kid that had a fever.
You know what, Barb? I'm going to need you to take a step back from people who are getting quote unquote handouts, because what you just said flat out insults people who are on welfare. Because for starters, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, is it welfare? Like, you have to have a job to get welfare. So if you were so hard up for money, your mom could have still gotten those handouts, but you're really taking a giant dump. Right, exactly, Carrie. The program is available to those in need. Like, way to take a giant dump on people who are maybe not even as fortunate as your mom may have been to have a job. God.
Or there was a room mom party. I mean, I was trying to be the mom while my mom was trying to put food on the table, and college wasn't even an option. But what I did do, we were driving around looking at all the hotels last night, all 2 or 3 of them, and the restaurants, all 2 or 3 of them. And we drove past this place called The Lodge, and it used to be Russell's Inn. And my kids said, "Isn't that where Merity's Cafe was a long time ago?" I said, "Yeah, I worked there." They go, "Wait a minute, I thought you worked there." I said, "I worked at them both. I worked 6 to 2 at Russell's Inn. I worked 2 to 10 at Boot Hill Cafe. I was waiting tables. My sister was flipping steak."
So did you go to, like, she said that she doesn't have a college degree. And again, I'm asking this question not to judge, but did you go to school? Because, well, she says that she graduated high school. If you're working from 6 to 2 and then going to work from 2, where are you going to school? At what point are you going to school? Did you get homeschooled? And even if you got homeschooled, hold on, Carrie, the hair salon, though, allegedly happens, the hair salon and the dance school allegedly happens between 18 and 22. So we're not there yet. But how do you graduate high school if you're working all the time?
Eggs and pancakes. And we were getting tips. Like, we could get more tips than our hourly wage because we brought service. And you know what?
Well, I mean, considering that your hourly wage was likely $2.83, like it is here in Pennsylvania, I mean, hold on. What's the hourly wage in? Where's she from? Kansas? Russell, Kansas? Minimum wage. Or wait, you want waitress age. Waitress wage in Kansas. This is not $2.13 an hour. So you have to imagine it wasn't better than that in 1982.
When I went to beauty school, I was still helping my mom. I was still driving 45 minutes one way and back and working the night shift at Stock to Shop so I could put myself through college and not make excuses. I might have been out of money, but there's a difference in being broke and being poor.
So, but like everything that she's describing does not give time for sleep, right? And like, that's just unrealistic. Doesn't even give time for eating or going to the bathroom. She's talking about going to beauty school, working a night shift, driving 45 minutes to get to beauty school, I think. Working a night shift, like that doesn't give you any time for anything. So it's just the lack of like clarity, consistency, anything making any kind of sense.
Poor is a state of mind.
Oh, Barb. Poor is a state of mind? No, Barb. Poor is a systematic problem in this country that people who are poor, it is set up this way so they will never not be poor. Our government capitalist system is set up that it doesn't matter what your mindset is. Your mindset will not stop you from being poor because capitalism, the government, will make sure that you stay poor. The overturning of Roe v. Wade will make sure that you stay poor. And if you're not sure how those connect, we can talk about it later, but just trust me, there's a connection there. To say that being poor is a mindset is one of the most fucking elitist things I have ever heard in my life. Considering the way she has made her money is by scamming people. Michelle says, I live in Kansas. Russell is a total armpit. The town is extremely poor. She's insulting everyone who lives there. Oh my God, wait, I just lost my entire screen. There we go. Yeah. I mean, not only is she insulting everyone who lives there, she's insulting anyone who is below middle class. Hell, she's insulting me. Like, you know what I mean? Like right now in this very moment, I'm waiting for our next paycheck. I'm poor. Like, yes, I have a nice house, but I don't have the money to go do things I want to do right now. Maybe I should join a multi-level marketing company.
Broke is I'm temporarily out of money, but it's coming at me. It's coming to me. And I'm telling you guys, when you get in the right money mindset, you can make money any way you want. Now, in my occupation, as it says on the screen, I should have changed that today to say no guts, no sorority. Sorry about that. I've been on so many lives, I don't even know which title I got going. I'm
really sorry that it's freezing like this. I don't know. It's probably my internet. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to apologize for that.
My industry of direct sales, I can't talk about money. I can't go on my company page or training page and say, let's make a lot of money.
Literally, that's all you ever do. And I don't mean you, just you, Barb. I mean all people who are like you in MLMs. All you do is talk about money. What the hell are you talking about? Your entire sales pitch is making money.
Because there's so many regulators, you can't really talk about it in that industry. So today.
But nobody else talks about it in any other industry. Nobody else. I don't go into any meetings. Like Michelle, you work for a corporate business. Do you go into meetings and they say like, hey guys, this is how we're going to manifest some money. We're going to make sure you get bonuses. Me as a teacher, we don't talk about that. We talk about the actual job. But the problem with multi-level marketing is that the actual job is just making money. They say they're changing lives, but the way they're changing lives is by giving the false hope of making money. And any job that the entire point of it is just money, you know, you want to say like, I'm not super religious. I'm not super whatever, but like, you want to talk about things that are evil. That's evil.
What I'm going to talk about is multiple streams of income. You need
honestly, it's multiple. Like, it's a totally tired sales pitch. Multiple streams of income. What they mean by multiple streams of income is first the commission, then the recruitment bonus, then the ranking bonus, and the leadership bonus, and the mentorship bonus, and the car bonus. Those are the streams they're talking about. But I have one thing to say about those streams. They all come from the same lake. So it's just one stream of income. It's just a matter of if you're going to get more or not, as opposed to when you have a normal job and they say you do this amount of work for this amount of pay for this amount of time, and then whatever you do the rest of your time is done.
Streams of income. And some people will say, oh, don't say that. Oh, don't say that because we got to get them focused over here. You know, I've been in direct sales for...
Focused over here on what? What are we focused over here on? Because the only thing you ever talk about is manifestation, mindset, being poor is a choice. God, people like Barb Pitcock make me want to just scream at the moon. Jenny Wild, where are you? We need to meet in the forest and just scream at the moon. Michelle, obviously, Danielle, Roberta, everybody in this live, you're invited. We're going to go scream at the moon.
28 years. And I love direct sales. It's the best money. It's residual money. You work once. You can build an income that will pay you even if you're depressed and you don't get out of bed. Even if you're...
You work once. What does that even mean? You work once and then you can build an income that will pay you when you're depressed? Jesus Christ. You know what's really great when you're depressed is when you have a job that gives you health care, so then you can just go get a therapist and medication for your depression. And usually your job will give you time off, paid time off. Because when I'm depressed, I still can go to work. My job doesn't hinge on whether or not I'm depressed or not.
You're sick with a disease and you can't go to work. Even if your kids need you and you can't physically be present.
But they have to watch you on these lives. So you're not physically present.
You're struggling with addiction and you went away to a treatment center for 6 months. That check would keep coming in like a wart if you built it.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. For starters, I loathe when people use addiction in any way to recruit, manipulate, con people into anything, but especially an MLM. Because here's the reality. If you have an addiction, you're not building a downline. Like if you have a serious drug addiction, okay, you don't have the time because you have a real life struggle. And likely, if you are a known addict, if people know that you have a drug addiction, they're not going to join your team because there is a huge stigma around people who have drug addictions. So to even indicate, to even imply, to even flat out say that in America, even people who are drug addicts will be able to create and be successful in this while they're actively drug addicts. And I just want to be clear what I'm saying with this is the stigma around drug addicts in this country is so horrible that it's like a knee-jerk reaction to not trust anyone that you even suspect has a drug addiction. You may not even know that they have a drug addiction, and people's gut reaction is, oh, they look like they're on crack. They look like they're addicted to drugs. So you think that somebody who people suspect or confirming know has a drug addiction, they're going to join their team? What America are you living in? We live in a very, very prejudiced America. Okay. And I don't want anyone to say, oh, Mallory is making excuses for people with drug addiction. I'm also not doing that. I lost my best friend to drug addiction, my very best friend in the whole world. She died on Christmas Day, and I didn't even know. She hit it so well. Well, let me put it this way. I didn't know enough at the time to recognize the signs. I just thought, that's my crazy best friend. She just disappears for a couple months and then we pick up right where we left off. But while she was disappearing, she was going on binges or whatever benders. Okay. So I didn't even know. But if she ever came to me with a business opportunity because she just disappeared, I would definitely not even trust my money with her, even though she was my best friend in the whole wide world. So like, I know drug addiction intimately. Not from my own experience, but because I was friends with people. They're not going to build a downline. They're not. So if anybody is watching, so let's just say hypothetically, somebody is watching this live who is a drug addict and they are looking for hope. They're trying to make a change. They are hoping that they can turn their life around. And they hear you say that, you are giving them this false hope that this business is going to let them go to rehab while they just are sitting and making money off of the downline of others. I can't think of a more irresponsible thing to say. Well, I could probably think of a couple more. Why is she implying that being on her team, ranked enough to have a residual income, is going to develop an addiction and go away to inpatient rehab? Well, what I think is, Michelle, I don't think is saying you're going to develop an addiction. I think she's saying if you have addiction, you can get this downline, get a residual income, and then go to rehab. And I'm just saying, like, that is completely unrealistic to give anybody who is struggling with that battle, with that burden, to give them any kind of false hope that they'd be able to go to rehab if they just join this MLM is unforgivable. It's absolutely unforgivable. And Barb, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. I don't know how you sleep at night.
It wouldn't go away. It wouldn't go away no matter what. Even if
it would go away. It would go away if everybody in your downline suddenly quit, or if they all quit, and then you're in rehab, or maybe you're in, the hospital because you're so depressed and you had to admit yourself. And so you can't manage your team. And all of a sudden people have quit because you had to disappear. Because here's the other thing, Barb, when you are overly depressed and you might have to admit yourself to a psychiatric institute, I don't want to call it a mental hospital, it's a psychiatric ward, or if you have to go to rehab, you don't have access to the internet. You can't attend Zoom calls and be like, sorry, I can't come to group therapy right now. I got to do this Zoom and I got to recruit more people. No, your downline is going to fall apart and you're not going to be able to recruit more people. So your residual income will disappear.
I tried to make it go away, and I will tell you why. Because in direct sales, if you get one person with a dream and they decide to go to work and you brought them to the opportunity, you get paid every month they go to work, whether you work or not.
That's a pyramid scheme. And here's the thing. You are creating a scenario, Barb, around the unlikely possibility that you will find one person who is going to create this massive downline that is ultimately under you. You are creating this world. So let's take Jessie Lee Ward as an example. She has an upline that's above her, right? That woman probably doesn't have to do any work ever again because Jessie Lee Ward is, doing her thing and doing all the work for her. But, and I don't want this to sound like I'm praising Boss Lee in any way, but situations like that are, 0.03% of the entire industry. That's not realistic for anybody watching this live.
So J. Paul Getty says it. I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Write that down. I would rather have 1% of 100 people's effort.
I am going to write that down because I need to look at it. Hold on. 1% of 100 people's effort instead of 100% of my own effort. So to get your 100% of effort that doesn't come from you, you need to find 100 people who are going to give you 1% of effort. That math does not add up. If I have 100 people, listen, whoever the idiot, I'm going to get a little bit ruthless here. Whoever the idiot is that gave that quote, if I have 100 people and I need to get one job done, and I say to that 100 people, hey, you only have to give me 1% of effort. That's it. Do you really think that 100 people giving me 1% of effort is going to equal my 100% effort in a job where I know I can actually get it done if I give 100% effort? That math does not add up. My God.
Than 100% of my own. Now, I'm a hard worker, and Chance was looking at my family this week. We went to my brother's shop to wish him a happy birthday, and he has employees, and there's cars all over the lot. He can't even keep up, and Lola painted him a little box. And you would think he would have been sitting at the desk with all of the other laborers working their asses off, right? We walked past 5 people, one in the paint room, one sanding a car, one rolling a tire, one bringing a customer in, his wife in the I almost said in the kitchen, in the office, she's running around doing things. And do you know where my brother was? He was in the far back corner doing the most dangerous job with a tire on the machine. And we handed him the birthday gift and it popped, the air popped, right? And I'm like, he's in the trenches. He's making it happen. He's not saying work, 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 work. He's back in the back working harder than anybody else.
You went up to your brother doing allegedly the most dangerous job and handed him something while he's working? I'll take things that didn't happen for 400, Alex.
Setting the pace. He's making money hand over fist because he's bringing great service. Last night, we drove all over town looking for my mom. Callie hadn't seen my mom in 18 months, and you would think I would have just called her, but usually she's busy and doesn't always see her cell phone. We drove past the campground. We drove past the car wash. We drove past the new rental she's working on. She has 70 in Russell. She has tons. And we couldn't find her anywhere. And finally it was 10 o'clock and I'm like, she should be at the car wash. And as we were driving home on our dirt road, I said, Mom, we looked all over for you. She goes, I'm still working. Where are you? And my son Chance said, I see a workaholic trend here. It's in the blood. Let me tell you guys something. You can work smarter or you can work harder. There's a word called leverage. And leverage means you are building an empire with money flowing to you based on how you spent your money. So you work during the day for a wage. There's nothing wrong with getting a W-2. But wealth comes from what you do with the money you make. So the money I earn, I don't just spend on fun stuff. All the money I earn.
Michelle, Michelle's putting this in here. It's a good example definition of the endless chain fallacy. I would assume that these people giving her 1% are also giving 1% of themselves to 99 other people with nothing left for themselves. Exactly. I don't know if she's insulting her own family, because to me, if her mom is working at all these places, I can't wrap my head around it. But if her brother is actually working the job, like, I have way more respect for him than for her, because the idea that she's setting up is not sustainable for, like, mathematically speaking, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. This is, guys, we're only 15 minutes in. I don't know if I can do this.
I spend on things that will make me money. And the things that I have that will make me money, that I invested in from the money I earned, that's the fun money. Otherwise,
hold on. I spend money on the things that will make me money. So she's talking about investing in your business, which means buying more patches.
Already bought the boat. I could go buy the boat and get a loan. I could go buy the big, beautiful home and get the loan. But if it's not making me money, I'm not buying it. That's why we live in the same house we've lived in since 2001 and pay the house off and use the money to buy things that will make you money, right? Here's what Jim Rohn says. When I was a kid, I got a bike. And then I got another bike. One for me to drive, one for me to rent, so that I could spend that money to get a nicer bike. It's funny because the young millennials, you guys, they get this. This generation X, Y, Z, whatever generation you are.
But that's not what network marketing is. If you buy a bike and you rent a bike, I guess that's like a thing in cities, but there's so many whatever. That's still not the same as network marketing. Like, for example, there's a property behind us that we hope to one day be able to purchase if it ever goes for sale. You know, one day, if it goes up for sale, we'd like to be able to acquire it. And there's a house on the property and we want to be able to fix it up and then rent that to traveling nurses. So we would have this extra property that we would make money on. Sure. But I'm not going to then recruit more people to buy more houses. It doesn't even work. Like, it's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing.
Learn from it. Let's learn from it. Last night, Chance, we had such good conversations.
Andrea.
He goes, you know, if you use the McDonald's app, you get a lot of free stuff. I said, you know, Brooklyn told me that the other day about Pizza Hut. I was calling in a pizza and having it delivered. I was surprising her. She was in Russell. I was at the lake. And she goes, Mom, don't call it in. Use the app. I have a ton of points. How do you know I'm calling in a pizza, right? And we were talking about this, and she goes, when you use the app, you get perks. Well, the old-fashioned way would be, let's go get the rotary dial phone, sit on the party line until the neighbor down the street is done talking, and then we can get the line, right? The way today is download the app, make money. Download the app, save money. Download the app, get benefits. You guys, there is everything you need on your phone today to make.
The fact that you don't understand how this actually works. Okay, yes, you get benefits. Sure. But you're getting benefits because those benefits encourage you to keep buying from that business. So it's all a psychological marketing. When you tell customers, hey, if you spend X amount of money here, we're going to give you all of these points. And if you get this many points, then you get $10 free. And that $10 probably is not even that big of a deal. But psychologically, you're like, oh, well, I have to buy this stuff anyhow, or I do need this stuff, so I might as well get it at this store. So then you end up spending more money than you likely would anywhere else. So it's not a saving money thing. You end up spending more money at Pizza Hut when you use the app. If I wanted more McDonald's and I wanted free McDonald's, then I would download the app if I was someone who ate at McDonald's all the time. But if it's just for free stuff, then then you're not actually saving money. You're spending more money because in order to get the free stuff, you have to be a repeat and frequent customer. So the fact that you don't get that, Barb, is very concerning, like deeply concerning.
Money without ever leaving your home. I cleaned my closet and I don't have enough time to do it, but my nieces are helping me and loading.
Sunny, you bring up such an excellent point. And I was thinking about this the other day and it actually was like pissing me off. So Target has their Target Red card, right? It can be a credit card or it can be a debit card that's attached to your bank account. And as just a little like FYI, I recently found out that when you do those things, use like a Target Red card or use Apple Pay, they encrypt the numbers in such a way that if there's a breach at Target, for example, your bank account is not like there's no worry because Apple Pay or the Target card, however, I don't know how else to describe it. But anyhow, I got the Target debit card and I save 5% on every purchase. And the stupid thing is that the amount of money that 5% is on what I'm going to buy is so minuscule. And granted, I also have a Target. Literally, once I start driving, it's 40 seconds, 40, maybe a minute, maybe 60 seconds from my house. If I hit the red light, 90 seconds. Okay. So if I choose to go to Target more than I likely would because of that red card, because psychologically they have done what they do, where I'm like, oh, I get 5% off at Target. Let's go to Target. 5% is nothing. Nothing. I mean, now if you're going to get big purchases, it's a little bit more. Right. It feels like so much, Sunny, when you're shopping, but like, you know, let's say my typical balance at Target, I would say roughly at Target, I might spend $80. I'm saving $4. $4. That's it. That's not a huge savings. That's not a big deal. And if going somewhere else where there might actually be better prices, do you see what I'm saying? It is all marketing and it is manipulation. Marketing is manipulation. This is what capitalist America is. Convincing you you're saving money when you're not. Like we have gas perks, right? There are gas perks everywhere. Our local grocery store is Giant Eagle. It's like Western Pennsylvania, Ohio area. Like Giant Eagle is the big grocery store around here. And they have gas perks. And for every, $50 you spend, you get 100 perks or what, I don't remember. And every so often, come in. Hold that thought. Somebody remind me where I'm at. What's up, honey?
Love you.
I love you too. Are you going to bed?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I love you.
just won't be seeing you for a while because me and Daddy are about to start watching Avengers.
Ooh, Avengers. All right. I love you. Can you close my door? Thanks, buddy. Close the door. Hold on. Okay. So Giant Eagle has gas perks, right? So at the end of if I have $10 off, right? I get 10 cents off per gallon plus $10 off at the end. So if I've pumped $50 into my tank, when it's all done, they lop off $10, $40 to fill my tank. And you're like, oh, cool. But Giant Eagle is excessively overpriced. So I am absolutely paying more to shop there, to get the perks, to save that $10 on my gas. It's all smoke and mirrors. But we do it. I mean, I will admit it's a scam because in my mind, I'm like, all right, am I going to pay more money to not drive to Walmart where it's cheaper, but I also don't want to support Walmart, but it's also Walmart. So, and Walmart's 17 minutes away compared to the 90 seconds. Oh, thank you, Katie. That's really sweet of you to say. Oh, thanks, Sunny. Do you see what I'm saying? So she clearly doesn't get it, or she does get it, but she's trying to manipulate you into thinking it's something else.
In this entire closet onto Posh. Not perfectly Posh. Posh.
We know what
Posh is a website where you can take everything in your closet, put it on there, and you have business women paying top dollar for beautiful things that are used instead of a garage sale where the mentality is, you have $5 on this $100 Ralph Lauren suit. Would you take 50 cents? No. Nobody bargains down that low. I'm an avid garage sale shopper. No, I mean, I would rather go donate it and get the tax write-off than give it away and like get somebody not seeing the value. Like it would pain.
You know what that just says to me is that you are so shallow. If you put up $100 Ralph Lauren anything at a garage sale, I don't have my purse in here, and I'll explain in a second. But if you put that up at a yard sale and somebody comes in and says, "You have $5 here. Would you take it for 50 cents?" A kind and generous person would say, "You know what? Yeah, absolutely. Who cares? Like, just take it." Because if you're putting it up at a yard sale, you're not going to wear it. You don't care about that $100 Ralph Lauren whatever. You don't care. And you're about to say that it pains you to know. That person likely needs it, clearly more than you need it at this point. But you're not willing to part with $4.50 of a possible profit on your used clothes. I went to a yard sale and there were Coach purses laid out, like literally never been used. The filling was still in it. I don't give a crap about like fashion. I don't care about Coach purses. I don't care about Ralph Lauren. I don't care. I don't care. I can recognize that they're pretty. I can recognize that there's a lot of work that goes into it. I can recognize the fashion industry and what they contribute and what they don't contribute. But I don't care. I will go to Walmart. I will buy whatever I think looks nice on me. And I still have a fashion sense, but I just don't care. However, I know that Coach purses run around $3 to $3.50. I know that. And they were selling them for $50. And it's a good purse. And I thought, you know what? For $50, I'm going to buy that purse because I brought $50 with me. That was all I was planning on spending at this yard sale was $50. And I thought, you know what? I'm literally never going to go buy a Coach purse in my life. So I will buy this Coach purse for $50 that is clearly brand new. And I will walk around with people thinking I'm bougie and I got money and I care about fashion. And it's just $50. But you know what I would never have done is try to haggle for one. But this lady was so nice that I bet if I did try to haggle it down, she would have said yes. Like, who cares? If you cared about a $350 Coach purse enough and you wanted to make the money off of it, you would sell it for half price, $175. There are people who would be like, oh my God, a Coach purse for $175? Absolutely, I'll buy that. So all you are doing, Mrs. Pitcock, is showing yourself to be absolutely selfish and self-centered and only focused on your own financial gain, which these types of people in multi-level marketing, that's all they're focused on.
To do 50 cents on something of that value. And you guys, it pains me.
The fact that you give more value to a piece of fabric than the person who might be wearing it is all I need to know about who you are.
To see you stepping over $100 bills to pick up pennies. Know your worth. Step up. Look in the mirror. Blow your chest out. Say,
my worth. I'll tell you, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop for the night because I'm getting exhausted. Maybe I'll do a part 2 on this one. But let me tell you something about my worth, Barb Pitcock. My worth doesn't have a dollar sign attached to it. I know that there are people who will Google how much is so-and-so worth. There's somebody that I know that passed away and I was very curious as to how much they were financially worth. And I did Google it. But when I die, I don't know what I believe in, what's going to happen after there. But I don't want anyone to say, oh, that Mallory, she was worth a hell of a lot of money. I want people to say Mallory was worth our time, our energy, our company. That's what I view as value. And that is what you should view as value. Like, sure, do I wish I had more money? Absolutely. We all wish we had more money and we work to make more money and we look for different ways to make money. But that's not my worth. And if you measure your worth based on based on what's in your bank account, then I am very sad for you. I am very sad for you. And you probably feel very sad for me because I'm such a hater and I'm so miserable that I would take the time to do this. But my worth is way more valuable than $100 bill. It's way more valuable than $1 billion. Like, I don't care how much Bezos is worth financially. He's not worth my time. He's not. Because unless Bezos is going to suddenly give away all of his money to pay off student loan debt and make the middle class actually have a fighting chance, no. Bezos and Musk and all of them, they're not worth my time. You know who is a little bit more worth my time? Bill Gates. And I know people might be like, oh my God, don't Bill Gates, what? But he intends to not die a billionaire. He is working towards getting rid of like donating and getting his money to places that are good. I think that like, why die with billions of dollars? You can't take that with you. Who cares? Who cares how much money you have? So I'll tell you what, I encourage everyone to go listen to Lizzo's new album, because if you want an album that's going to help solidify your worth, Lizzo's album is that. We'll do a part 2. I'm honestly so exhausted because not just from her, but I not made a new friend tonight. I said at the beginning of this live before everybody popped on, I went to lunch with a new-ish friend. We met online last year and we had been texting a lot and we're trying to get together for lunch, and then illnesses happened and we just never got it. And literally it took us a whole year later to finally get together for lunch. And I don't know if anybody else with ADHD is like this, but for me, when I talk and like engage in really good conversation, I am absolutely exhausted after it. I am just so goddamn exhausted. It's a great time. I loved every minute of it. Then I get home and I'm like, oh my God, I need a nap. I need a nap because I was so focused on listening to her and then sharing my stories. And then when we were at the restaurant, this woman had a seizure. So then like there was like panic in the restaurant. I've never experienced that in my life. And then we got home and the power went out and we were without power for 4 hours. Like, it's been a day. So my time is more valuable than her right now. So I'm going to sign off. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to record chapter 3. Unless you want me to do it live, then we can talk about a date. I can maybe do it live. I need to start recording this month's shakedown. I have lots to talk about. And yeah, that is everything. Anything social exhausts me. It takes forever to recoup. Katie, I'm telling you, I'm a social butterfly. I love to talk to people and meet people and be out and about and social. But it is the intimate conversations. It is when I'm like really talking to someone and intently listening that just my brain is like, I'm spent. I am spent. So, all right. We will save Barb here for another night. And I hope you all will join me next time. Yeah, everybody keep calm and I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here tonight. I'll talk to you later. Bye.